Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The new legal is in the building tonight. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing very well, and I hope everybody's being safe. I hope everybody's enjoying their new consoles. Um, Whether you have the Xbox Series X or the Xbox Series S, as long as you're having fun. I hope you're enjoying next generation. I hope you have a decent upgrade TV that actually permits you to. I've yet to upgrade in that department. I'm still waiting around to see what there is to offer. I'm not really hyped up on 2020 TVs. They kind of let me down. So hopefully 2021, man, doesn't take too long to bring me a TV that I'm going to snatch up and start, you know, banging out on these new generational games. I'm still excited and I can't wait. Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Cyberpunk 2077 are my two targets, along with Gears Tactics. So those will be and Watch Dogs Legion. Those will be my four that I try to take out first. So I'll have a very busy year. Since Red Dead Panda has came in here and said hello to me, I'm gonna say hi to her and hello, Red Panda. And this is gonna be one of the realest videos that I can pretty much speak on. This one I'm gonna have to take my time on this one, and I just want to keep continually to say that I appreciate all the support. I'm dedicated to the gaming streets, and I enjoy what I do. Is I don't want to take this platform for granted at no point in time. You guys make this platform what it is, and I'm gonna continually push it as far as y'all let me. With my awesome cast that I have as well, I'm very grateful to have them. So as I finish clicking out this chat room, I just want to give thanks to it one more time. I won't be hitting up the chat room because I'm gonna be focusing up on this on this show that I have tonight. It's gonna get real. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, your step sisters and brothers, hey, your first, second, third, fourth, fifth cousins, your brothers and sisters, hey, your great grandchildren, your grandchildren, your pets. Throw a little bit of an auntie in there and a little bit of an uncle in there. Some in-laws. We forgot about the in-laws all this time, man. We can't forget about the in-laws. Yo, the family reunions, your nation, at your backwoods, to your major cities, to your hoods, to your neighbor, to your enemies, to your mailman, to your airport, to the doghouse, to that dirt gravel road, to the paved road, to your highways and byways, to your governors and mayors, to your presidents, to your queens, to your kings, hey, to your bosses, to the workers, to your coast. Man, I'm trying to, yo, to your apple trees, your peach trees. What else we got up here? To the equator, to some islands out here. Man, I mean, we're trying to fit everybody. The deserts. Check it out. Your states, your country, your continent. You could have been anywhere in the world, You decided to come out here on Di-RRec Gaming, mess around with the new legal. How y'all living tonight, man? I hope everybody is doing okay. And on top of that, we're going to get right to it. Today, my man Techno Blast posted up something. It had to do with our leader, our good dude, Phil Spencer, And it was about, him not being too happy with the console war toxicity. And he was elaborating on that, and he wasn't too fond about it, which we already know. You know, he was trying to break down some things, and he has every right to. He has every right to. He slams the console war toxicity, and he lets us know that Sony isn't an enemy. And on top of that, I'm going to build this show upon that. Sony definitely isn't an enemy, for one, because Sony is a customer to Microsoft. Let's just get that clear. I want to also get something else clear. Me, the new legal, I embrace the whole entire culture. I got to repeat this again because before I do this show tonight, I want to make it real clear. I embrace all the gaming culture. Bring it. I embrace it. But just because I embrace the whole entire gaming community doesn't mean I respect every little thing in it. Okay? So me embracing it means that, I understand there's going to be things within it. Now, the things that are within it, I can pick at, pull at, assemble around, take what I don't like, leave what I do like. And there's only one thing out of the whole entire gaming community that I take out, that I don't like. It's just one thing. And that's being toxic to the point where you are making threats to people. And, that right there to me is the bottom of the bottom. There's no coolness about that at all. Typing on your keyboard, threatening grown-ups by any way, shape, or form. That's not how I get down. That's not how I move. So therefore, that's not how I'm going to accept that. Respect is earned, not given. And, that's pretty much where I leave it at that. Other than that, it's free game. Nintendo fans have their right to say what they want to say. PlayStation fans have the right to say what they want to say. And Xbox fans have the right to say what they want to say. And along with PC gamers and any other mobile gaming devices or other avenues within gaming, VR, they have, and other platforms of gaming, they have the right to say what they want to say. They're consumers and they're buying these products. And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing to these companies, is that you buy their product and you make money for them. Let's never get that twisted, okay? But the beautiful thing about that is, even though that's the ground fundamental basis, sometimes you get lucky enough to get blessed enough to actually talk to some of these people along the way. Sometimes you're able to build a platform and indulge into a gaming community that embraces you. You might, win something, win a sweepstake, or, just something that was gratifying while you was in this gaming community. You never know what happens. You'll never know what happens if you never indulge in it. Good things can come with it, and bad things can come with it. That's with everything in life. So this console war toxicity, to me, it's ridiculous if anybody feels a certain way that one company has to succeed because another company needs to fall off the map. I disagree with that as well. Everybody can be competitive, and I'm going to start speaking on that. Back in the day, man, you know, Atari and the television went at it. Okay, they went at it, man, and they would make commercials about each other, and it was basically just simple commercials showing you what one could do and what one couldn't do. When we was growing up, nobody took it further than that. We didn't. Of course, there wasn't no social media. We didn't go outside and you know threaten our neighbors or our friends at school because they had a different console than we did. Um, as a matter of fact, we would play on each other's consoles, whether you had the same one or not. The reason why I wanted to bring that up is because that's one of the pieces of the origins, the feel of the origins of the console community in its humbling beginnings. This is before the NES, the mighty NES. And we would go, to our friend's house and play the games that they would have. You didn't trip. You didn't feel some type of way. You just went to play games because then the arcades still had a strong influence on gamers. So like I was saying, when you walked into an arcade, you didn't think about who's playing what and what's playing who and do I have the only thing you would think of is, do I have enough quarters to last in the arcade? If anything, that would be the thing that, you was worrying about the most. How much time I got, to play these games before it's all over and I got to leave the arcade. It was like a rush. The arcade was like a drug, a video game drug, like a rush. You needed to get that rush, that fix, And so that was one of the core feelings within the community. It was a real feeling, and we lived by that. We did that. Some of us would get together in groups and walk down to our local arcades, or sometimes it'd be a little bit far. And on the weekends or whatever, your parents would drive you out there so you could have a good time. But either way, the atmosphere wasn't toxic like it is today. Okay, so just understand that this toxic push that we see, it's new. It never was. It never was in the origins of this game and stuff. Okay, and we saw the commercials. We saw it. We saw everything, all the way up and through when Nintendo came out and rescued console gaming, which gave avenue to Sega to come out westwardly and do good in the West, with the Master System. Because by then, the reason why we didn't know about the other 3 or 4 consoles that Sega did is because they were in Japan. But Sega had been out, but consoles were kind of struggling to become popular again. They were trying to pick up the ashes, and put themselves together. So when Nintendo worked hard to get consoles back on its respect due, Sega was able to come along right behind it, and both of them, they moved the 80s. They moved the mid to early 90s, from 85 to like 91, 92, man. It was Sega Nintendo heavy, everywhere you looked. And even though they were doing so good within the gaming community, they were competitive. But the competition was always a friendly type of competition, even if it wasn't. We don't know everything, but the projection. They didn't use the media, which would have been commercials at the time. They didn't use the commercial aspect to beat down the other one, and to make you feel like, yeah, one has to leave and the other one needs to stay. No one felt like that. But Sega was never scared to let you know its capabilities. And Sega would make great commercial content to prove that they were worthy as a console, you know? And so throughout those years, you saw that. You didn't lose your mind over it. You didn't trip over that stuff. Friendly competition, right? And then all of a sudden, Sony gets into the industry. The first thing Sony comes out with Crash Bandicoot, and he's wanting to destroy Mario. The word is destroy Mario, kill off Mario. And you can look this stuff up. It's in the commercials and stuff. It's written up back in the archives. You can look at all this stuff. I'm not lying about any of this. There's no reason to lie about this stuff. And so they would go along and make a cartoon. Not a cartoon, a commercial with Crash Bandicoot coming out, and he was poking fun at Mario and calling him the plumber man and all this stuff. You can look all this stuff up on YouTube. And so when they actually were like, Crash Bandicoot will be the next Mario Bros. It's going to destroy Mario. And it won't be no reason, what the reason will be jump on over here on PlayStation, man, because Crash can do more than just, break bricks, jump on top of Goomba's heads and stuff. And so they were just out to make Mario look like he was just not that cool anymore. And so that right there is what got me about Sony. You want to know why I never put my money into Sony? That was the beginning of it, because what I saw was a lack of respect. And all these up and coming gamers today that haven't been around that long, I'm trying to get you to understand the situation with the mental. You got Pac-Man, right? Then you had Mario. Mario made it cool to be number 2. Mario made it cool to be accepted. You didn't have to be the number 1 mascot. You can come in here and be yourself. Mario made that to look cool. And then he earned his stripes. Mario earned his stripes through Super Mario Brothers 3, man. He was sealed. Guinness Book World Records, man. He was sealed. So you got Pac-Man, who was the face of gaming. And then you got Mario, who is this iconic, epic mascot for Nintendo, who's just killing it, the new kid on the block, and he's killing it. Mario's never been negative at all. Not one time has Mario ever been a negative mascot at all, let alone Sonic the Hedgehog. You got to know Sonic the Hedgehog comes out because Mario was making such a big impact that Alex kid couldn't even get in the game because Mario was so big. And that's when Sega had to get rid of Alex, the kid, and change him up, the little monkey boy. And they didn't, they just kind of put him in the back seat and they brought up Sonic. They created Sonic. Sonic looked more appeasing to the Western world, and Sonic began to grow. You didn't hear Nintendo say, well, we're bringing out Mario to destroy Sonic, or we're going to bring out Luigi now and to destroy Sonic. Nah, man. Sonic stayed out there. He ran his course, and then he becomes an iconic mascot. So within the first 20 years, or should I say, I would say 15, you get 3 heavyweights that are maintaining their popularity. You got Pac-Man, who was 1980, who's just the godfather, right? He's holding his weight the first 10 years. But then 85, around 87, Mario's just killing it. He's coming through. And then you got Sonic coming out in 87, and he don't get his respect about 98, 99. 98, 89, 1989 to 90. Sonic is just killing it. And then you see the battle. You see Mario come back, and then you see him with Mario 3, Mario 2, Mario 3, and then you get the Mario world. Get Mario with the cape, man, and he's never had that cape again. He's never been that character again. But that would be iconic if Nintendo brought that Mario back, the one with the cape, where they introduced Yoshi. And you see all of this. You're moving through the generations. You're seeing all this. Yes, you still had the console wars back then, but they're not like how they were today. The console wars back then was all about just explaining who could do what and who couldn't. Sega had this motto, we do what Nintendo can't do, or something like that to that regards. And that was their thing. That was they made commercials off of that. And nobody, even then, nobody took that to heart. People took that, as friendly competition. They made each other great because they pushed the envelope for each other. The little jabs they would do weren't to encourage. It was more like, hey, man, we're glad you over there. And look, we're doing this now. What you going to do about it? It was more like that. Nobody ever felt like, if you had a certain console, you was a bum or you was stupid or anything like that. So you saw the communities, they grew, but they always had respect for each other. I don't ever recall anybody hating on Mario and Sonic. If I went over to my friend's house and he had Nintendo, man, I was ready to play those Mario Brother games, man. He'd come over to my house, he was ready to play them Sonic the Hedgehog games. And that's just the way we were, So Sony comes in, and it's documented that they knew not to come at us. I want y'all to understand that. They knew not to target us because we were already mature gamers. We were, some of us at our youngest generation was about 12 to 13. Some of us were already like 15, 16 years old to 17 years old. So a lot of us were teenagers, man, and we were stabilized within the gaming culture. You couldn't just pull a sheet over our eyes, a blanket over our heads or whatever. You couldn't just bag us like that. We had an understanding of what was going on. Sony knew that. That's why they didn't target us. They target the generation under us, the 6, 7, 8-year-olds. And this is why you understand why they have this mindset today, because they were children. It's like the PlayStation is like a bottle to them. I've been saying this. It's like a pacifier. So you got this generation, that the first generation that grew up on many consoles, played on many consoles, because we didn't think like that. We played on, shoot, man, from the Odyssey to the televisions, to the Ataris, to the Commodores, to the ColecoVisions, to the TurboGrafx 16s, to the Nintendos, to the Segas, to Sega CDs and Neo Geos, and the Dreamcast, so the GameCubes. We came from so much evolution in gaming that we're so rich in diversity that we have this respect. We understand the war, but it's a respectable war. We never went crazy. We didn't threaten devs and things like that, right? And within the mid-90s, you get the PC community to emerge stronger than ever. And here they are doing their thing. And everybody's doing their thing. Nobody's tripping. Everybody's doing their thing, right? And then Sony comes along and just makes everything personal, because you got to understand, Sony and Nintendo had this little rift going on. And so when Nintendo left Sony to deal with Philips, it kind of left a bad taste in Sony's mouth. So Sony has always looked like this vendetta, having a vendetta against the gaming culture. We're going to do whatever we want to do, and we're going to capture and dictate what's up within the gaming community. So they come up with the CD-ROM, which to this day I give Sony credit, changed the way we play games, right? Because before that, there were CDs, but I'm saying the impact. Sony put the stamp on it. We had the cartridges, and some of us already had the CDs with the Sega CD. But when Sony stamped it, they were able to take off, and they put the CD-ROMs on the map in a big way. They were utilizing it in a big way, media, all that stuff. And so you got that community of kids who ran with that influence. Now, notice what I'm saying. They were influenced. Okay? They're sitting here looking at these commercials. They're not looking at them like we're looking at them. We're a little bit mature. We're looking at Crash Bandicoot like, look at this sucker. Look at this sucker right here. Look at this stuff, man. And we're going about our business. We're going outside. We're going to play or something. But when you're 5 and 6 years old, you're looking at that. You're taking that to heart. You know, especially if your mom bought you that console for your birthday or for Christmas. Now you're like, you want to defend that. You're like, that's right. You're looking at that commercial like, that's right. Crash Bandicoot rules. He's the new guy now. I got this PlayStation. Right. Mario's been out too long. It's time for him to move over. This attitude was birthed because they were influenced. And so now you see this influence going through to PlayStation 2. Now, here's where a little bit of the confusion begins, because you hear people say that Sony was responsible for the demise of the Sega Dreamcast, you know, because the success of the PlayStation 2 was so high. But that's the myth. That's not the truth. That's just the myth. Sega destroyed itself from within. It had nothing to do. It had nothing to do with Sony on that aspect. Sony was brand new. Sony was coming in and they were pushing hard and grabbing these. The reason why we got all this exclusive stuff. Now, listen, Nintendo, see, you got to look at it like this. It's that mindset. We knew about exclusives, people. That wasn't nothing. That wasn't anything new. But let me show you the differences back in the day. Okay, they were versions. Sometimes now you would have an exclusive. You couldn't play Mario's on Sega. You couldn't play Sonic's on Nintendo's. It was a respect thing. And to be honest with you, nobody wanted those characters on each other's consoles. See, I want to get that out the way. Nintendo fans didn't want Sonic on their console, and Sega didn't want Mario on their console, Sega fans. It was a respect thing. We knew where they belonged, and hey, if you like these guys, you buy them consoles. Nobody was tripping on that. And so when you see PlayStation pushing hard with the PlayStation 2, bringing all this media to gaming and watching the movies with gaming and all this stuff, Sega Japan, okay, started to feel the ripple effect of the influence. Mind you that, you know, this is happening over there in their country. You got 2 Japanese companies. Imagine that. You got Sega and you got Sony. You know, you got the PlayStation brand, you got the Sega brand, both in the video game space, on top of Nintendo. So you really got 3 Japanese companies in the video game market on one island. Okay? Imagine that. Just imagine that. And Nintendo's been there the longest. So you're trying to battle Nintendo, and then you're trying to battle the Sega. And Sony, because it was a heavy electronic company and movie company and music company, but music artists like Michael Jackson and stuff, Prince and stuff, man, Sony was well known around the world. So, and with the Walkman, okay, they had the #1 device. You know, like how Apple has the iPhone, how the iPhone and the iPod changed the game. Well, the Walkman was that back in the day. The Walkman was the killer thing, man. It was the killer device. You know, people put them headsets on, you put the little cassette tape in, and you played your music, man. And you walked around and did it, and it was the biggest thing ever. All right? So Sega Japan started envying the success of Sega in the West, and it's a cultural thing. It's true, but it's sad, but it's a cultural thing. The Japanese over there felt some type of way towards the American developers within the same house. And so what ended up happening was, while Sony was over here beating up the Dreamcast had a good start. And so that's all the USA of Sega wanted was, hey, We got a good start. We sold these units out the gate. We just need some backup now because Sony's taking off. Hey, if we're able to get this amount of consoles, I think we'll be all right. We can withstand this storm because we still have a good, solid, loyal fan base. And what happened? Sega Japan didn't want to fund them, didn't want to back them up, left them out to dry. And that's how Sega fell off. It had nothing to do with Sony. Sony was just pushing themselves. So when that happened, notice Microsoft was working with Nintendo, with Turok, but they were working with Sega on the online situation. So this is how Microsoft was able to learn some things within the console space, because before that, they were just PC gaming, man. Age of Empire, Flight Simulator, all that good stuff. All that stuff was Microsoft right there. And so when they finally got into the console space, Seamless Blackie, he went through the same thing. He got backlash. Now, I want y'all to really pay attention to this, because this is real, y'all. This is about as real as it's going to get. The thing about Xbox is, and I want to say this first before I go into the next, continue on. Xbox has lacked an identity leader. And I know y'all trying to figure that one out, but I'm going to elaborate on that. That's one of the reasons and the issues with Xbox. It doesn't have an identity leader, okay? When you saw the OG Xbox come out, it was pushed by The Rock. The Rock. Okay? Watch where I'm going with this. You see Seamus Blackley, the team of Di-RRec, hearing what Seamus Blackley had designed up in his mind, and he wanted to say, hey, you know, what if we get into the console space? Because Sega's gone now. Why don't we get into the console space and start making some video games? When he came up with that concept, do you know that people within Microsoft laughed at him? And the reason why they laughed at him was because those were Windows people. Notice what I'm saying when I said Xbox lacks an identity leader. All right. The PC people are always going to feel some type of way towards the console gamers. Here's a key. This is some key stuff right here, because it's always been that way. All right. See, it's always been that way. Some things just ain't never changed. Okay. Making that clear. And so you have Seamus Blackley working for Microsoft, feeling like he has to prove himself. He's going to prove himself that his idea is a good idea. So some of the guys from DirectX, they helped build this console with computer parts. And here we come out with the OG Xbox. It gets presented to Peter Moore, and Peter Moore is like, wow, you know what? I'm impressed. This thing was heavy on the PC side of things, but it was a console. And it sold his butt off as a rookie in the league. As one, Xbox never saw the 90s. It's 2K certified. It's the 2K console. And so it did good. And then along comes the 360. The 360 comes out, and we get the very first console war when it comes to sales, but between Xbox and PlayStation fans. Now, mind you, and we're going to keep it real here, Xbox struck first. All right. Their thing was, if we can get this console out before PlayStation sell more units, we can win this sales in units. All right. So you got to understand where this is coming from. When they came out strong a year before PlayStation 3. They came out strong. They came out cheap, but they came out effective. And the 360 was selling its butt off. And then it gets hit with the red ring of death, right? And at this time, Here comes PlayStation 3, just chucking along, staying consistent, but chucking along. It's overpriced. It's having issues. It's overpriced. It's having issues. So neither one of them have a good start, but Microsoft has the worst. It just has the worst in gaming history. You know, that Red Ring of Death was a trip, but you got to understand something. It was Microsoft's first time getting into the console space. They only had made one console prior to that, and that was made from a bunch of computer parts put together. So the 360 was really the first legitimate console that was made in a console mindset space. That was their very first one. And so they did a lot of things with it. It was the console that had so many updates, so many things came through on that console's era that it's just crazy. It sold its butt off. PlayStation 3 sold its butt off. And you got the console sales war beginning between Microsoft and Sony during that era right there. That's the birth of it. Then we get to Xbox One. All right. Don Matrick is the new dude in town. Steve Ballmer and all them, they're in there. And these dudes are like tycoons, man. These guys come in with a chip on their shoulder. Notice they ready to go to war. They ready to battle. They see the influence out there. Yo, we ready to do whatever we have to do to move forward this Xbox One by all means necessary. We don't care. We got to reach in this pocket and spend money to these devs and make these games on our console. We're going to get it done. The funny part about that was they didn't want to push Xbox. These guys were from Windows. It's a freaking tornado in my area right now. Yo, Technoblast, check the weather, man. We sitting up here with a tornado that already hit. Rogue, check the weather. I'm in here doing this show, man. My wife comes in here and shows me a daggum tornado warning. We got a tornado warning, so I just want to make sure y'all two are safe. I know y'all are right around from me. Check the weather for me, man. Y'all be safe. You know, you see these guys coming in, they're pushing hard. But understand this. Remember what I said. Xbox. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Well, go get it. Go get in there. I'm right here. I got this show must go on. Rain, sleet, hail, snow, tornadoes, hurricanes. We in the building. We ain't going nowhere. Legal's putting in that work. So you got these guys, right? I know y'all laughing right now, man. This is funny stuff. This is live and direct, man. You tornadoes, man. So you got these guys coming in, right? And they're give me 1 second. Okay. All right. I'm back. You got these guys pushing hard. But the one thing about it is they're from the Windows side of things. Don Matrick is from Windows. He's not from Xbox. And so you have this misconception. They don't know how to move this thing. They don't know what direction it's supposed to go because they don't come from the console space. You see what I'm saying? Xbox has always lacked an Xbox leader. It never had somebody that was just like, yo, listen, boom, I'm from the console space. I'm getting this Xbox off the ground. I know what they want. I know what they need. We're doing this. It's always like Xbox was treated like an experiment. It was always treated like an experiment. And so when you have that built upon the gaming media has arose, it's been out for over 10 years. They're becoming toxic because see, they got consumed into the console sales race themselves. They knew that was a good way to build their empires. So you got the gaming media built their empires off of all this stuff in the streets. They built a biasness. Most of them are PlayStation fans. A lot of these cats that you see now, they were born in the 90s. The John Lennonmans and stuff. Go look it up. Dudes born in the 90s, man. PlayStation fans. And look, nothing wrong with that. I don't want you to miss my point here, but I want to be clear. There's an understanding as to why they act the way they act. I'm not talking about Ledbetter. That's a root gamer. He's been around. But notice, Ledbetter is a PC guy. He's not a console guy. This is what I'm talking about. All right? So you get Don Madrid to say silly things because he doesn't understand the gaming culture of the console space that he's working under. You know, he was asked that famous question. So what do you do about the ones who, you know, need an Xbox One, need to do play backwards compatibility? Because you remember, they had got rid of that. They got rid of that. And that was one of the trademarks of being an Xbox fan, was backwards compatibility. But they were going to move this cloud. They were going to do this cloud. They were going to buy these new games. And hey, we want you to just focus on the Xbox One. But we were never like that. We played our Xbox One games. I mean, our Xbox OG games. When we got the 360s, those Xbox games came to the 360. We established backwards compatibility like nobody's ever have in gaming history. Then you get these guys to come in and they want to stop that. They want to stop a whole cultural aspect. And then they tell you, well, just if you want to play them old games, buy you a 360. See, the attitude is off. The understanding is not there. And then you wonder why some of the Xbox community left. We lost a big chunk of our community right there. Right there. And on top of all the little rules that were set before time, speaking too much, speaking ahead of your time, you know, not really explaining the reasons why you're doing things. So you had all this toxic stuff then. Xbox was getting mutilated with the toxicity within the gaming media. Look how much they thrived off of the whole fact of the DRM. Look at that. I mean, they were consumed with the digital media, right? They were consumed with that. The digital rights management. They were consumed by it. What? Your online being on all the time. Well, it's on all the time. It's on right now. Your internet is on right now. But see, when you say that without explaining it, without breaking things down, you caused hysteria, and that's exactly what Xbox did. The people in charge of Xbox, they caused the hysteria. And so you got all these platforms that seized that moment, y'all. During 2012, when the rumors were coming out, when people were hyped about the next generation, but 2013 was the year a lot of these dummies and a lot of these fakes and clowns that you see today with their empires, they built it upon this silliness. All right. So once they were able to build these blind followers up with all this silliness, it was a smooth sail for them because it no longer became about gaming. It just became about how dumb my YouTube channel can be, how stupid I can talk about Xbox, and watch, I'll get a crowd coming in. They did that. They talked it so down that they scared a lot of Xbox people. They scared it. The media, they harped on it. They didn't explain. They wasn't out for Microsoft's best interest. It's Microsoft, man. They don't care about nobody. They make millions and millions of dollars. We're PlayStation fans. We get that. We got John Lennonman on record saying he don't know why Microsoft came into the video game space. I wish they never came into the video game space. That came out of this man's mouth. This ain't no lies. I'm not making this stuff up. The toxicity began within them. They did that. Don't ever forget the year 2013 because it was one of the longest years ever. They dogged the Xbox out to the point where it was ridiculous. Any little thing, I mean, they dogged it about how big it was, how huge it was, how square it was. I mean, we got to the point in gaming where it just got so dumb. It got dumb. I mean, it got dumb, y'all. It just was easy to not talk about gaming because they really don't put that work in. We made it easy for them. We had people out here, these gaming journalists out here doing reviews for games when we knew damn well they wasn't playing them games. But they're going to make reviews like they played the whole game and beat it. How you going to make a review for a game and you only played 10 minutes of it? Think about that. You had these clowns doing like 10, 30 minutes on these games, making review content, putting it on YouTube. Then you had these blind followers coming up there looking at that little, oh, look, the game sucks. Or look, the game is great. And they only put 10 minutes of the game up there. And they grew this ignorant community. They grew it. They were like fungus. They were like mildew. And they knew that they had those PCs. They had that ability to content create first, stronger than anybody. And they took that for granted. They built empires bashing the Xbox because that's what was popular, to bash Xbox. And so when they did that, it was easy for them to climb up the ranks. You was accepted because it got to the point, if you stood up for Xbox, you got banished. That's where you became a fanboy. Oh, you corporate slave. We get it all. But at the same time, you over here flagging for Sony hard. So what that make you? Oh, you better not call them corporate slave. The person that ain't got no games. Where's your exclusives at? Like, we have to be validated on exclusivity to be a gamer. You see how ignorant we have gotten? We got to a place where we started saying things that didn't mean anything. And when we did this for 7 years, and then this is when you get Phil Spencer to come in. And what's funny, we'll speed things up, right? To not too long ago, just maybe a couple weeks ago or last week, maybe. Phil Spencer came out and was like, yo, Xbox was up for grabs. It was up for grabs. 2014, we didn't know what we were going to do with it. Hey, they got rid of Don Majesty, Bomber, everybody that's ever been with Xbox either gets fired or left, quit, or gets replaced. And Phil Spencer said, it's as if I was the last one there. So it was like, hey, take over. That's kind of like how he was. It's not like Phil Spencer was like, you know what? Hey, look, I see Xbox over here. I want to come over here and do something about it. It wasn't like that. And listen, I'm not knocking the guy. That wasn't a knock towards him. What I'm just saying is, it's not like Phil Spencer was ever in a position with Xbox where he led. That's what I'm saying. Or he was in a position to call the shots. He said this, we saw Phil Spencer on E3s before representing the Xbox, speaking for some games at the bench, being on stage, but that's about it. He was never the guy to make the rules, make the calls until he got hired on. And you see his influence within our console space. Phil Spencer is a PC guy. Let's just get that on out the way. And because Phil Spencer is a PC guy, he moves differently. He talks differently. He carries himself differently. Let me put it like this, y'all. Let me break it down like this. A lot of us console gamers, we come out of the streets, meaning we come out of those arcades. The arcades were like the hip hop of gaming. It's like the hip hop version of gaming. You could find a dungeon almost anywhere. And when you went in there, man, this is real. it became a place where gangs hung out at. It became a place where you went to pass the time of day. It became a place where you meet up with your friends, hang out with them. It became a place where you chilled out. You may not even play the video game, just to go hang out. And overall, the arcades became like a club, a free club. That's the kind of environment it possessed. Okay. And it had its good parts about it, and it had its bad parts about it. But it was street. The arcades were always street. It was the most diverse thing, man. Everybody, all walks of life was in the dungeon, man. And you was judged by one thing and one thing only: how well you could play. These are just facts. It was never an easy ride being up in the arcades. You had to put on. You was playing that game, put on. We got to see you leave your initials there, bro. If you ain't leaving your initials, move out of the way. You wasting our time here. And that's a competitive spirit. There were some people who talked a lot of trash, a lot of fights broke out. That was the environment of the arcades. It just is what it is. When I see Phil Spencer, I see intelligence, elegance, respectfulness, humbleness, a man with approach, okay? And he moves as a PC gamer. Nothing wrong with that. That's his root. So that's what he knows. He moves like that. This is why you saw the mergence begin. Because prior to Phil, they didn't want to merge their console space with their PC space, but it was the way to save Xbox. Now, we're going to put the facts out there. PlayStation 4 was whooping that Xbox One so bad that they had to make space for it and put it into the PC realm for it to be rebuilt again and thrive to where it's at now. These are just facts. And they listen to a lot of these half-breeds. They listen to a lot of these centaurs and donkeys out here in 2003, all up in their forums, all up in their articles. They didn't. This tells you that Microsoft was totally disconnected. They were disconnected with the streets. Because if people within Microsoft was paying attention to their fans, they could have easily depicted who was who. But we had so many years of blindness that by the time they woke up to some of these dumb-ass YouTubers, it was too late. The damage had been done. Every game they drop, one of these dumb-ass YouTubers that pose to be Xbox fans make a video dissing it. Make a video dissing it, dissing that, dissing that. So who you think the PlayStation fans will cater to even though they don't like them? They're going to say, well, you know what? Let him talk that trash. We're going to build him up because we need an idiot like that. See, they looked at them. See, that's why they look dumb today, because the PlayStation community doesn't embrace them. They use them. They got played by the PlayStation community. They just used them. And so they got what they wanted out of them. And the toxicity was created then. Phil Spencer had to stop talking about console sales, because let's all be honest. Xbox was getting his butt whooped. It was getting spanked. So now the narrative had to change to engagement, to things we don't understand. Business talk. Well, engagement, huh? So how does a game make money this way and this way and services and this way? And so Phil Spencer, notice what I'm saying. He believed in his influence as a person. He stayed humble. He taught us something. He told us, hey, the reason why I'm not going to talk about consoles, because I see the mistake that we've done. We've gotten away from our fans. We're not in a good place of communication with them. A lot of them have left. So he's like, I'm going to do this in phases. I want to get us rebranded, get our loyalty and trust back, and then we'll worry about Xbox games. That'll come once we fix these three, Once we get these things going, the game and the success of games will come automatically. And he told us, hey, to be patient with him. And we see his work along with the Xbox team's work throughout the years. We see it. And along the way, we've heard Phil Spencer say, I don't like the console wars. I don't like the toxicity talk and back and forth and back and forth. That's because he doesn't understand. That's been in our culture since day one. Since day one. And I'm speaking on behalf of some of these Xbox fans. A lot of them don't understand it when he says that. He irritates some. And instead of him looking at that as a bad thing, you got to assess this, man. It's not always a bad thing. They're feeling the way they're feeling for a reason. Everybody is feeling the way they're feeling for a reason. Because for 20 years, we've been getting the unbiased news. We've been getting we can't be excited for what we do. We can't celebrate Xbox without Sony coming the next day or the next few hours talking about how many consoles they sold. We went through that this whole generation. And you're going to tell us today that Sony ain't the enemy? It doesn't ring right. When we tried to cross-play with them, their leaders didn't want us cross-playing with them. When EA Access was put together, their leaders thought that EA Access was a joke. Sony has never welcomed us with open arms. So it doesn't ring right when you say they're not the enemy. I mean, we know they're not the enemy, but they sure damn well don't make us feel like neighbors. They don't. And, we know that you guys in the leadership role can only say so much. That's the problem. Because we know damn well y'all ain't going to say what y'all really need to say to each other. We know Phil Spencer isn't going to say what he needs to say to Jim Ryan, really. Jim Ryan, you can tell, man, them dudes ain't cool like that. They're not cool like that. Just because we're streets, just because we're consumers don't mean we're dumb. We got eyes, man. We can see this stuff. And to be honest with you, the toxicity comes across both boards. But it's not common. It's not popular like it is from the PlayStation community. The PlayStation community, toxicity is popular. Yeah, you got toxic gamers in the Xbox camp. You got toxic gamers in the Nintendo camp. But, man, do you have some toxic gamers in the PlayStation camp. I mean, man, you bother them. They want your social security. They want your address. They want to know where you work. They want to roll up on you, man, put them hands on you. They want to give you all this smoke. We ain't buying your games. We boycotting this and that. We doing all this stuff. We signing petitions. Bro, like, you can't, there's no way you can overlook that with a straight face. So when I saw that, man, yeah, I was like, you know what? It's time to address some stuff, man. Because I've always said this. Every time the word toxicity comes up, it's always pointed at the gamers. New Legal done got tired of that. Because it's like, you use us because it's easy to escape with. We're scapegoats for that word toxicity. And I can sit up on YouTube and I can have debates with Sony fans all day. And not one of us are threatening each other. Not one of us are talking about somebody's parent being disrespectful. The most you're going to get out of it is you was dumb or you stupid or you a dumbass or something. But that's about it. It's nothing. We battle. We leave it there and we come back the next day. It's just the way it is, man. It's always been like that. We're not out here, trying to hurt each other and stuff. This toxicity within gaming is influenced from the top. I can prove that right now. I go on my cell phone right now, go to some gaming news, and man, it's bias up the block. We're sitting up here with a video game console that's having one of the most horrendous debuts of its life, and yet you got people over here acting like it's not even happening. Now let that be Xbox, and there's absolutely nowhere you can go without seeing it. Nowhere. You see it all over the place. You'll be driving on the highway and they have someone on a billboard talking about it on Xbox. It's crazy. But they want to sit up here and downplay it. They want to sit up here and downplay it because it's PlayStation. So that may feel, when you look at it, it's the projection, right? Here, look, check this out. It's the timing. It's the timing of that article. It's what pissed a lot of Xbox fans off. Got a lot of Xbox fans talking. It was the timing of it. It wasn't a very good timing. And that's something that's always been an issue with the Microsoft camp. Their timing it's always something about the timing. Because check this out. You put out the most powerful console ever in gaming history. Then you put out the second most powerful console in gaming history at the same time. The one that's the most powerful that people said wasn't going to outsell the small one, the least powerful one, the cheaper one, actually outsold the cheaper one. And it broke all Xbox records, right? It's sad that Microsoft is the only one that has to come out on Twitter and mention it, right? Congratulations, blah, blah, blah. They put the news out there. But where else was it at? Where else was that news at, people? In the mainstream gaming media, where was that at? Where did you see any of those bad boys congratulate Microsoft, man? Throwing it up for them? Nowhere. Nowhere. It's as if you an Xbox fan, hey, man, suck it up. Suck it up. Because we're undercover PlayStation fans and we have these platforms. So now we ain't going to talk about Xbox. Why would we give it the clout? We don't like it. So why would we give it clout? Think about that. Why would we give it clout? I don't like that console, so I'm just going to play it off. Yeah, I'll say something. I'll write an article because I have to. You know what I'm saying? I have to because I'm a gaming media journalist and I don't want to look too noticeable. So I'll say something every now and then that really doesn't have an impact or nothing. But then I'm gonna get right back to this Sony press and with this PlayStation. And regardless of what's going on, it's genius. We that's what we get. We get articles that are gonna tell you that the PlayStation 5 is actually outperforming the Xbox Series X. You know, and that's then they'll leave the article just like that because they know they got them blind followers. They know those followers are going to take that and just run with it. They're not going to explain to you what's really going on. No, because if they explain that, the upper hand doesn't go to PlayStation anymore. It goes to Xbox. And lo and behold, will we ever do something like that? Why would we do something like that? And then you wonder why you have people that are so toxic. Because when they get online or when they read in the magazines or whatever, that's what they see. That's what they see. They see all this praise for Sony and their PlayStation brand, but they don't see nothing about Xbox. And when they do see something about Xbox, it's criticism. You go to Metacritic, it's criticism. You go to the reviews, it's criticism. You go to the YouTube channels, it's criticism. Because monkey see, monkey do. Whatever's working, I'm going to do it because it's working. That's what people do. They'll huddle up like they going for the end zone play, and they act like wildebeest. So they're going to pack up together, never thinking for themselves. And that's what it is. It's a wildebeest donkey mentality out here. That's what it is. Safety in numbers. If we that's why when you see these articles, it's all regurgitated. You'll get five damn different articles all talking about the same damn stuff from each other. All copycat. And you got people running around throwing out the news like they doing something. Oh, look. I'm throwing out the news. It's the same damn news. It's like you go to CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, C-SPAN, your local news, same news. You just pick the channel. And you ain't getting nothing special. It's the same news. So, if you really want to know about Xbox news, you're not going to get it from the third party gaming media. That's for sure. You gotta love what Xbox puts out for you. And they just going to put out what's going on with the next stuff. But you see that when you turn on your Xbox. So the lack of excitement isn't there in the crowd space. So you have these Xbox fans, they're feeling some kind of way because they're like, man, you know what? I want to be accepted out here. I want to be accepted out here too. You know what I'm saying? But man, I can't see anything about what I do. Nah, homie, because they don't play on your console. They play on play. That's why they sit out here right now praying for that PlayStation 5 to stop. They doing everything. They doing exorcisms on it. You know what I'm saying? They out here throwing holy water on it, praying over the miracle rug, bringing the miracle leaf, the rosaries, or whatever else they want to throw on it. Trying to make this thing, they trying to make this thing disappear into righteousness. They want it to get correct right now. They want a miracle, people. The gaming media, you can see them. It's hilarious. They're tired. You got John Linneman out here just getting clowned globally because he's done got so tired of it. He's just willing to just lie. He's like, you know what? Forget it. Lie. Just lie. Let me just lie on this stuff. It's no integrity anymore. But yet they want to talk about toxicity. It don't get no worse than that. How can you blame a gaming community of just people who don't even have a strong following, right? But you got these guys out here with they're in their grands, 30, 40, 50, some of them 100-something grand of following. And yet they can't deliver you the truth. But yet you talking about toxicity? It starts from the top. If you want your streets clean, you're going to go to a company that offers street sweepers. And let's get them streets clean. You got to first get the equipment. Well, the equipment ain't coming from the normal gamer. It's got to be applied to them. It's like PPE. You got to supply that stuff, man. If you want the toxicity to stop, armor your community with hazmat suits and then make people accountable. When you see it, call them out. Y'all ain't going to do that. It's just like, I understand when people get tired of Jeff Keighley. I get it, man. This dude has been exposed so many times, it's unreal. All right. And then you see these PR treatments with him. And then like he did, that's why Technoblast made that show last year. Or this year, I'm sorry. He did it this year. I was thinking of the Game Awards. He did it this year. When we started to do the pre-shows to lead up to the Xbox Series X, this guy does an hour pre-show with 4 members, or it was I think it was a total of 4 people. The 3 that was his guests, they weren't even Xbox fans. How stupid is that? How stupid is that? That doesn't even make any sense. But yet, we're told as Xbox fans, tune into his channel. For what? For what? Why would we tune into his channel? What is he going to offer to us? What has he ever offered to us? And then when somebody does speak out against it, oh, he's a hater. Oh, he's a fanboy. because that's your insecurity. That's your safety net. That's why you don't like it when people come out here and tell the truth. You don't like the truth. You like that silliness. You like those silly YouTubers, the ones that itch your ear for you, the ones that scratch your back. Those are the ones you like because you know they don't pose no threat. They don't build up. They don't wake people up. They stay ignorant. They stay in the dark. So that way you feel secure about the brand you like. But real Xbox fans don't care about that. We play what we play. My only bark is you got Phil Spencer sitting up here talking about, you know, he's liable to leave the whole gaming community due to it. And I'm like, come on, Phil, what are you talking about? When I mean, look, at all due respect for Phil Spencer, right? When has Phil Spencer checked any of them? None. I haven't seen him check none of them. When has Aaron Greenberg checked any of them? Not that many times, but they'll talk bad about those guys. And those guys are good guys. They try to hold up the integrity, and I get it. They try to hold up the integrity of the company because they're working for Microsoft, man. They're not trying to be childish and stuff. So we get that. But at the same time, when you see your community out here being excited and talking good about the Xbox brand, jump in there sometimes. Man, it doesn't take much. You don't have to be a damn top loyal YouTube follower to stop by and say hello. Come on down here. Come down here to these roots and get down here and say hello to some of them. Make one of your fans' day. Come out of nowhere. Come kick it. And you might find out that it ain't so bad down here after all. Some of the realest people I know now down here. You got a lot of people down here that love Xbox, that go out here and spend their money on Xbox. Who really love the brand and love what it brings to them as gamers, man, with no propaganda. No propaganda. Listen to your fan base sometimes. Sometimes they just feel a certain way. You hear a lot of them say, hey, Phil, listen, man, be just a little bit more aggressive. If you don't understand why they're saying that, well, say something. That's why we got Twitter. You mean to tell me we have a dumb-ass president that can use Twitter to say the most dumbest things, and we can't get some of our leaders in the Xbox community to talk to us? Take 5 minutes out of your life to make a text, man. Just say something. You know what I'm saying? Get your community wild up. Embrace it, man, because you got to embrace it all. That's just the way it is. Hey, I wish the world was beautiful and without violence and all that too. But I'm dreaming. But that doesn't mean I hate the earth. The earth is what it is, man. It's a beautiful place. It's our home planet. It's what it is. But I don't have to accept everything that goes on to the world. That's the difference. And if I'm going to not accept certain things, then we speak on it. We see what we can do within our own space to make things better. We can't just keep talking about this stuff and don't do anything about it, just saying stuff about it and just thinking it's gonna go away. That's not how it's gonna work. Man, look, let me show you how I know it's not gonna go away. Let me share something with y'all. Let me go on Twitter real quick. Watch this. Watch this. This is how you know, man. This is how you know it's impactful. This stuff is very impactful. People are very sensitive. Let me see. Where are we at? Where is it? Let me hit this because I want y'all to see this. Hold on. I'm going to read off some stuff to y'all, man. Where the heck is it? Hold on. Will I be? I thought I put it up there. Guess I didn't. Okay. All right. Look at this. Okay, look at this, man. I had to go. I was trying to find I was actually trying to find the post that I put up about Phil. I'm gonna be looking for it in a minute. So I'm not gonna forget that. But here's the one with John Linneman, right? It's so easy to see what he does, right? But these are comments. I'm not gonna say who they are, but this is the streets. With all due respect, based on your tweets, you hate these videos. Also, it makes you say stuff like Xbox crowd is vicious. You have a preference, which is PlayStation 5, and that is totally fine. But it is not when it comes to comparison videos. Boom. Beautiful. You see what I'm saying? And then John Linneman says, with all due respect, I subset of the Xbox community is toxic as hell. Same goes for PlayStation. Well, duh, man, we know that. That's not, he didn't put out anything that's college right there. We know that in all different gaming groups, there's some toxicity that goes on. Then you hear this dude say, you are a liar and a closet play sexual. Most of your commentary is biased, unlike your other peers at DF who are fair and balanced. You got caught lying multiple times and cry like a little girl when called. All right. Now watch this. This is him now. See, this is the thing what cracks me up about people with the big platforms and their blind followers, okay? Here he goes. John Linneman. Oh man. So I closed my DMs for now, but what I didn't expect was it to delete unread DMs. A lot of nice folks sent messages I wanted to respond to today, but they're completely wiped, even after re-enabling. Anyway, any way to get them back. Come on. Y'all, do y'all believe this clown, man? See, this is what I'm talking about with these clowns. They come with all that talk, but then when the smoke hits them, they don't want to stand in that smoke. Then they start coming up with these tweets, all this little sensitivity, manly sensitivity stuff. Man, get the heck out of here, man. Get the heck out of here. You know, then you got these people, man. And it's fine if you got your opinion. People are so ridiculous. John is good people, and we're just talking video games. John is a good guy. It's a shame he has to deal with this kind of abuse on a daily basis. How do you know he's a good guy? He pay your bills? I mean, does he pay your bills? This is what I'm talking about. People are just blind followers. It doesn't make sense for people to be that attached to people that they don't even know. Don't even know. This is what I'm reading this out, man. This is real. Now, where was that at? I'm trying to find out. Where in the heck did I put that at? I know daggone well I put that up there. Oh man. I thought I really did post it, but I didn't. Oh man. Wait a minute. No, you know what? It might have been Technoblast. Wait a minute. Might have been Technoblast. Be quiet. Let me see. Hold on. It could have been Technoblast. But then again, I don't even see Technoblast stuff. Yeah, that daggum tornado must have really messed my stuff up. Cause I'm looking through this stuff and I don't even see his. And I retweeted it. I know I retweeted his this morning. Wait a minute, let me see. Okay, here it is. Got it. I got it. You got, you got people who, the gaming journalists, they damage control. They damage control. And it's cool. Like we say, man. But when we damage control, it's toxicity. It's you're toxic. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. You are I was about to go over here and knock my son out real quick. But it's easy to point the finger. It's easy to point the finger at the gamers because we're out there. We're on Twitter. We're on Twitter. We're making these tweets. So it's easy to point the finger at us. We're easy targets. We don't have the big platforms and all that. So it's easy, man. So you say something, oh man, who cares what you say? It's that kind of attitude. It's like you're grunts, but that's not the truth. You got Phil Spencer saying there's like a core of the core that have, I think, taken it to a destructive level of, I really want that to fail so the thing that I bought succeeds. I'm saying on both sides. Now, I really haven't seen that level of toxicity that heavy on the Xbox side. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. I'm really gonna say that, but I do know that it does exist. I don't even see Xbox fans threatening devs. I don't see that stuff out of our camp. But it does exist. I'm not gonna say he's wrong there. And he goes on to say, I'm not saying that it's all people crushing Xboxes and everybody that loves Xboxes always completely inviting to all the PlayStation stuff. I've said before that I find it distasteful, but maybe that is too light. I just really despise it. I don't think we have to see others fail in order for us to achieve the goals. Okay. All right. Fair enough. So let's talk about it. See, here's my thing. My goodness, man, this is crazy stuff. It's crazy, man, because it's like we're intelligent beings, man. We have brains and we can think. I want everybody to listen up to this, man. When did it ever become cool to buy something that practices bad businesses or does things that are not secure? All right. Would anybody, okay, put it like this. Let's just compare this release. These new console releases. It's like this. The Xbox, when it's having issues, it's kind of like this, right? You just bought this car off the showroom floor and you literally got in the car and drove it around all day, got home, parked your car. The next day you come out and it won't start up. The PlayStation, you go in, you buy the car off the showroom floor and it just won't start up. That's the difference between what's going on with the Xbox and what's going on with the PlayStation. If we're going to talk about when it comes to things happening wrong for the console release date. All right. There's a big difference in the two. And there was a big difference with the Red Ring of Death. The Red Ring of Death, the problem with that was the console was already out. People had already experienced the 360 before the Red Ring of Death even became a thing. And you notice when it started becoming a real thing is because more and more people started speaking out about it. But it was already out. That's the difference between that and this. This situation that is happening for the PlayStation 5 is out the gate. It didn't live a little while and then things started happening. Things started happening right out the gate. And then on top of that, people, the warning was given to us earlier this spring of this year. We got our reports at the beginning of this year, y'all. The first, fiscal? About the first three and a half months in, they warned us, hey, you might not want to buy the PlayStation 5 when it comes out. If Sony shouldn't even bring the console out this year because we're noticing too many issues and failures going on within the console. It's already been reported to us. Okay? You're telling me to spend my money on a company that gets sued by its own base? We're talking gaming, Phil Spencer, right? We're talking toxicity, Phil Spencer. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking to my man, Phil Spencer. You're telling us that it's cool to pay for a service that's unprotected. You're telling me that's cool to go ahead and waste my money on PSN that Sony themselves don't even improve on, that hasn't improved on, that caused a massive hack in 2011. Millions upon millions upon millions upon millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of people got their personal information compromised, and we just want to erase all of that. That's cool, though. Keep playing, keep buying PlayStation brand, because we don't want to see nobody fail for somebody to succeed. Come on, man. Stop it. At some point, we have to be real about this stuff. Sony does bad business practices. That's not console warring. That's not being toxic. That's saying the truth. They just got sued this year because they don't want to refund their own people, their own base, their own gamers had to sue them. And it was over, you guessed it, video games. Really? Come on, man. And like Rogue 17 just said, they just got hacked again. And you're telling me that's cool. See, listen, let me tell y'all something. Console wars have always been here. I haven't seen one console die off of console wars. Not one company to die off console wars. The messed up media been here. I ain't seen one brand die off because of the messed up media. All right? But what'll make a company die off like Sega would be from its own self. Sega had an internal feud. That's what happened to Sega. Sony didn't cause Sega to fall. Microsoft didn't cause Sega to fall. Nintendo didn't cause Sega to fall. Sega caused Sega to fall. That was an internal thing. So like I was saying, none of this stuff made not one company fall off the map. None of it. None of the claims. But yet, for some reason, we want to overlook those things. We never want to talk about those things. We don't want to talk about them because I understand it. If Sony is a customer to you, then you feel some kind of way about that. I get it. I wouldn't want my customer to go anywhere either. Think about that. If Technoblast is my customer, man, I don't want him going nowhere else. But I'm not going to tell him where he's messing up either, though. But I'm keeping it real with him. He over there with all these hacks and doing all this, getting sued by, and I'm just going to sit over here and chill. I'm act like that's all cool and dandy. I'm going to sit over here. That, you know what? Stadia. If Stadia doesn't make it, so be it. It ain't because people were toxic about Stadia. It's not because the console wars exist. It's because Google put out a product that to the masses sucked. If it don't make it, it's because it sucked. Look, the PlayStation Vita, the PSP, they didn't make it. They didn't make it because of console wars. They didn't make it because of toxicity. They made it because Sony couldn't do what they needed to do for it. They couldn't make the adjustments. That's a company thing. The Kinect, look what happened to the Kinect. The Kinect didn't fall off because console wars. Come on. Stop it. All that stuff been here. The snap feature, all our great features, right? All those great Xbox One features, they're not here anymore because of console wars or toxicity. That ain't why they're not here. We got to stop this stupid stuff, man. And be for real about this stuff. There's people in these gaming streets that don't want to buy an Xbox, that don't want to buy a PlayStation, that don't want to buy a Nintendo. They buy one console and they like what they like. It just is what it is. And if they do that, so what? That's what they do. Then you got people who like to buy all the consoles and they won't play a damn thing, but they'll buy all the consoles just to say they got them. We got that in our gaming community. Then you'll have people who just buys a whole bunch of physical copy games. Ain't beating out one of them, but just want you to see that they got a whole bunch of physical games and they stack up real pretty up against the wall or on their shelves or next to their computer screen or next to their console just so they can take pictures of it. Come on, man. There's a side of the Xbox community who are getting tired of seeing this Mr. Nice Guy stuff from Phil Spencer. It's just true. It doesn't bother me. Okay. I rather have Phil being who he is. I don't want him to change up. But he can be who he is, and be a little aggressive with his strategies and stuff. Like Xbox fans don't want to hear that you buy all these acquisitions and they're going to everybody else. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that stuff. There's some Xbox fans who don't want to hear that. Like they're looking at it like, what's the point? What was the purpose of doing that? Because let me tell you why. And they got a good point because we look down upon that. But let's flip-flop it though. Let's flip-flop it. I told y'all tonight is going to get real. Let's flip-flop that. But we're cool when Sony says, y'all ain't getting Spider-Man. It's solely exclusive on our console. And the damn game is a third-party game. But yet we're being held hostage because we're PlayStation. I mean, we're Xbox fans. We're not PlayStation fans. So we're being held hostage on Spider-Man. And then you'll actually have devs come out, right? They'll wake up in the morning after they yarn and say, well, listen, if you want to play Spider-Man, buy you a PlayStation. You gonna sit up here and tell me that ain't toxic? That's how you speak to the gaming audience? And then you wonder why Marvel Avengers didn't sell? Keep messing with the consumers. Keep messing with the gamers. We're going to give you all that smoke. Because if we don't buy them games, how you going to make money? Y'all going to buy the video games for yourselves? It takes a little bit of respect. It's give or take, but it's a respect thing. It can't always come from one angle. It's got to come from both ends of the line. And we meet halfway. That's how this thing works. And then you wonder why you got all these mixed emotions and mixed reactions within the Xbox community. And both of the reactions are well respectable. You just sit there and give it time to marinate. They have a reason why they feel that way. Man, the Xbox community, been rocking Xbox for 20 years. We're 20 years. Some of us started when we were 18, 19 years old, man. Here we are 20 years later, finally getting a damn console that we knew Microsoft could have been made years ago. We're talking Microsoft, people. Come on, man. Microsoft could have been made a powerful console like the Xbox Series X. Been done that. Like I told everybody, man, if the Xbox Series X is the way they say it is, I pay $700 for it. If it's going to be a top end PC, that means I ain't got to pay $3,000 for it. I'm good. Sell that sucker for $799. See if I don't buy it. And it's got all the bells and whistles to it. I'm buying it. You know, when you make a great product, people going to buy it. You know, look at Apple. That's right. Look at Apple. Apple had to get humble. Samsung figured Apple had to show everybody that they didn't have to. It was the rabbit in the hair thing because you know I had to deliver to Samsung during that recall, man, and we cracked up the whole time. All them Samsung fans, man, we just kept giving them an L. And you know what? Listen, this console thing is funny because it's no different from this. I'm glad we're mentioning this. The Android and the Apple community, they warm with each other every day, but they ain't fighting each other, beating each other up on fun. It's just that friendly competition. It's always been there. Ford versus Chevy. Friendly competition between the people. Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Giants or the Washington Redskins, or you know, the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Indianapolis Colts, or even the Chicago Bears versus Green Bay. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The Lakers versus the Celtics. These things exist. Why are we sitting up here acting like because it's in the gaming industry, it's different? We got to act different because it's gaming. No, the hell we don't. No, the hell we don't. It goes on because it's always been like that. Facts. Rocky IV, USA versus Russia. Friendly. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, when he used to come out there with the 2x4 and American flag screaming USA. That was friendly competition. Nobody literally went outside with a 2x4 and started cracking people's heads open because of Hacksaw Jim. What's his name? Dang, I just forgot my man's name. But Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Nobody went out there to just start doing that. Hulk Hogan versus the Andre the Giant. It's all friendly competition, people. Marvel versus DC. We can go on and on and on. Because, like Wolf of Darkness says, competition is healthy and it's good for the consumers. That's why. Samsung versus LG when it comes to TVs. It's always there. It's just in our culture, man. There's nothing wrong with it. But when you start stepping out of line, you know, threatening the female that do voice acting and stuff. Yeah, I'm not for that. Now we can talk about that because we never tolerated that. That's never been the case. But man, Microsoft, you know what I'm saying? You ignore too much. You think we're stupid. You think we just sit out here and we're not in these media streets. We're seeing it every day. We don't have nowhere to go. You know what makes the Xbox community so beautiful? Because we have each other. We have each other, man. And we be leaning on each other, man. We be out here defending with each other. Just giving them all that smoke. Because where else are we going to go? We don't have nobody else. You can't tell us just to shut up and game. Doesn't work here in these streets. We're gamers. We respect each other as long as we're showing people gameplay. We don't care what console you play on. Just don't come talking that noise. You playing a soap opera walkthrough game, and I'm over here playing a heavy competitional game, and you telling me you over here putting in that work, you gaming so hard. Shut up. You know, don't come over here as a casual thinking you gonna talk in the space of those who put in real work in these gaming streets. Shut up. That's the only thing that always happens. But if you're a casual and you come out humble, hey, listen, I don't play those heavy competitional games and stuff. But man, I be knocking out this game, this game, this game, this game, this game. Whenever I get a chance, I work all day, so I may get 2-3 hours a day just to sit on the weekends and just ball out. And I really enjoy these games. Nobody's gonna diss you, man, because gamers have common sense. We're very smart people, man, and we love each other. And all gamers mostly want to hear is that you gaming and having fun. If a gamer knows that you're gaming and having fun, he don't care what platform you on. Because we all speak that fun language. But then again, we're not stupid. Don't come out here and just start saying stuff and like there's no reason to it. There's a reason why people are feeling the way they feel. And I'm getting tired of seeing it always getting pointed down towards us like we're the ones who start this stuff. We're not the ones who start it. They see it. It's like children. Children are going to mimic the attitudes of their parents. Like a lot of these blind followers, they look up to these people. I just read it to you. You got people speaking on John Lennon's behalf like they bathe that dude. Like they give that boy baths and put his underwear on. Come on, man. He's a good guy. You don't know what that dude is. That's right, Sega, man. Like walking simulators. That's right. They're like programmed, like robots, man. You put all your time and attention on people because they tell you what you want to hear. That's what this all comes down to. You cater to the people who say what you want to hear. And if there's somebody who oh man, I'm not gonna repeat what I saw. More like a duck-billed platypus, man. A duck-billed platypus. But it's like they mimic this stuff. They get influenced. And when they see that they saying something that, and they think that, because they got these platforms, they're credible, man. So how dare you talk back to him? He Digital Foundry. How dare you say something like that? Because this dude's lying. That's why. I mean, why shouldn't we? Ain't gonna sit up here and put up a front that he got all this DM work. That's why you talking about they deleted because it never was there. Because he knew somebody would probably gonna say, all right, show us the proof. Man, come on, man. He don't even know how to do online trickery correct. He doesn't even know how to do that correct. We know that stunt. Look at Wolf of Darkness. I am a gamer for a long time. For the last 8 years, Sony owners was trashing the Xbox brand. Now it's my turn now. I will trash PlayStation 5 and Sony for the next 7 years. Listen, that's how people feel. Because you know why? You know why Wolf of Darkness is feeling like that? Because when did he ever have anybody to stop it? For 7 to almost 8 years, we took all of that. We took it. Took it from the gaming media. That's why you see the Xbox community clowning the way it's clowning. And let me go back to the timing. Go back to that timing, right? We got the number 2 most powerful consoles in the world, right? Doing good on releases, right? Everything's going good for Xbox. Oh my goodness, man. PlayStation coming out with the most horrific launch ever, right? It's just having all kind of complications, right? And you saw how they try to be quiet on it at first, but now it's the inevitable. They can't. They have to say something. It's just too much. And then you would think, man, and listen, we love Phil. We love his leadership. We love Uncle Phil, man. We love his leadership. There's no hatred towards Phil. This is my time Look. I want y'all to hear me with this one. This is legal's time to be critical, to criticize, right? Because, these Xbox YouTubers says it's okay to criticize. That way you don't look like a fanboy. Every now and then you say something critical. Be fair. All right, so listen. All right. So we're doing all of this. You get an interview with The Verge. Yeah, like we're really tripping off that. And so you over there on The Verge, right? And why is it so important for them to have console wars on their mind? Why would that even come up? When I was reading that article, I didn't hear anything about the good things that the Xbox Series X and the S were doing as far as gaming wise. I didn't see none of that. I didn't hear no good job. Y'all did great. Man, y'all brought this and brought that. We didn't hear that. And then what cracks me up is why are they bringing up games and then will it ever come to PlayStation 5? See, those are the type of things that are really on their minds. You hate Xbox, but damn it, you want our games over there, though. I ain't gonna buy that Xbox, support Xbox in a time of day. But man, give me that Starfield. Get the hell out of here, man. Get the hell out of here. Come on, man. And that's why you see these Xbox fans saying, when I see something like that, nah, Phil, don't give nobody no games. Do them just like they do us. If they want this game, buy that Xbox. There's nothing wrong with that type of thinking. I'm trying to understand what's wrong with that type of thinking. And that's true too. Then you got Japan being caught being racist towards Xbox, being racist towards people. This is reality, man. We're not making this stuff up. We got a broken relationship over in Japan simply because the damn console is made by an American product. Now, what if we acted like that? How would Sony make it over here? Think about that. So you see that they don't even take the time to understand that, we could do you just like you do us. We ain't got to buy PlayStation 5s and just see what happens to PlayStation, the brand, when the Americans aren't buying it. See, it's a lot of big talk going on, but let the Americans not buy your product and let's see how much big talk you're going to talk. It's like every 5 minutes we see a PlayStation 5 issue on Twitter. Facts. But yet, you don't see them articles coming out fast enough. But it had gotten to the point, people, where it was so pathetic for PlayStation 5 because you remember when they just kept trying to make that console next generation. They kept trying and kept trying and kept trying. But then when they saw that they couldn't convince anybody, oh, the UI's in 4K. The UI, people. And then, lo and behold, today, what do we find out? The UI is having complications over there. What's all the hubbub, bub? I thought that UI was something to talk about. What's wrong with it? We over here now trying to get into next generation, and the best they can do is talk about a damn UI. See what I'm saying? The dumbness within the gaming community is like a plague. We get it. That's your way of being toxic, though. That's your way of being slick. We see that. Instead of giving props to Xbox, it's killing y'all so much that you just want to find something to tell the Xbox fans, see, you're worthless for buying that Xbox brand because our UI is in 4K. You don't hear nobody on our side in the leadership role to talk that kind of talk down and to put those people in place. That's what the Xbox community expecting. That's why you hear the Xbox community talk the way they're talking. I am just echoing the streets of the Xbox community. I'm echoing it. And I see every last one of y'all over here. Appreciate every last one of y'all. I'm just in my focus, y'all. Y'all do y'all thing over there in the chat. Y'all home. Do y'all's thing over there, man. Y'all good. I appreciate every last one of y'all. But I feel y'all. I feel y'all, man. I do. Y'all have reasons, man. We can't always just think one way. I can't always think the way I think, and I expect everybody to think the way I think. You just can't. If we're going to truly move forward, if we're really going to bring gaming into a beautiful place, then damn it, let's start holding people accountable. And let's call them out. And I want to salute those who are listening now, who are standing up now, who aren't scared. And I want to keep encouraging it. Because you're not going to get this kind of talk from the top YouTubers. Them top YouTubers ain't going to say that. They're connected. They're connected. They going to do what they got to do to keep a game coming to them, to keep a console coming to them. They sold themselves out. So don't expect them to do anything on the real. Don't expect it. No, they ain't sending out 5 consoles. They ain't doing it like that. Come on. Come on, man. And you got people out here in the Xbox community holding consoles for people because that's the way we are with each other. Man, I got an extra console, you know. You know what I'm saying? I'll hold it for you. You got people out here treating people with the utmost respect so that they can go into next generation. You got people doing that in our community. Then we look over there and we see the PlayStation community, and we see those innocent PlayStation fans who were innocently coming up on Twitter with their accusations, with their testimonies, with their proofs of the puddings. And what was sad was there were some people in the PlayStation community that didn't like that, and they were talking against them. They were talking against them because they were saying stuff that was true about the console. We had Rogue, who was the first person. Rogue was the first person to tell us about that reset button. I mean, that rest mode. She didn't know what it was. She had got a call from a friend that night while we were on the show. And she warned everybody, hey, I got some news, y'all. To whoever who has a PlayStation 5, make sure you don't put that bad boy in rest mode. Because my friend said the console just shut off or whatever. And then 3 days later, here come the articles. Bro, something's going wrong with the PlayStation 5 rest mode. Well, no, duh. We had Rogue to tell us the day of the release. It's crazy, man. We sat here and watched the YouTubers, right? The ones that got them hands out, right? Hey, check this out. The ones that can promote the console, the ones that got all these blind followers. So just hopefully their influence is strong and we can get some sales going on. But yet they got the console, and what the console do to them? It bricked on them. Bricked on them. Live and direct, it bricked on them. They sitting up there doing an unboxing, you know, struggling to get the thing out the box like all of them do on an unboxing, like they've never opened up nothing in their life. And then when they finally get it to come on, it bricked on them. We're not being toxic. We're being truthful. It bricked on them. They had been warned. We put it out there. They closed their eyes. They said, you know what? They covered their ears and they closed their eyes. I'm not hearing you. I'm not seeing you. It's not true. Because you closed your eyes and you didn't want to hear us or hear the news that we wanted to reflect out, that you thought that it wasn't going to be true. You reap what you sow. You see the classic line. You reap what you sow, Sony. You're the ones that have been playing this game for years and years and years. You're the one that's been doing that. We don't need our leaders in Microsoft to tell us. We've been gaming for years. We know it. We don't need nobody to tell anything. We seen it because we lived through it. Now you reap what you sow. We ain't got no sympathy for you. You didn't have no sympathy for nobody else. This is a respect thing. So all we're going to say is this. What are you going to do about it, Sony? You going to refund those people their consoles back? You going to help fix this situation? We see Amazon came out publicly and said, hey, we're hearing that people are getting rice, cat food, air fryers, and replaced for their PlayStation 5s. So we're going to investigate. We ain't hear Sony come out and say nothing like that. What y'all going to investigate, Sony? Not a damn thing. Let somebody's console get hacked. What are you going to do for them, Sony? Not a damn thing. To me, that's toxic. That's being toxic. Not Sony sold 40,000 consoles and Nintendo only sold 5,000 and Xbox only sold 10,000. Ha 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 ha. That's minuscule. That's preschool stuff. If that makes you mad, then something's very wrong with you. That's nothing. But to sit here and ignore crashes, glitches, consoles not coming on, bricking, to simply ignore that and try to downplay it by starting to talk about Dirt 5, that's criminal, man. That's toxic. Y'all are wasting people's time. You had to make that daggum dev come out for Dirt 5 and tell John Linneman that ain't true, man. We got the dev kit. We're still working on the daggum thing. All the key elements and stuff that we won't put into the game, we ain't done yet. But there will be an update for it. Come on. Why did this guy have to come out to the public and tell us the obvious? You know damn well that the PlayStation 5 ain't going to play no damn game better than the Xbox Series X. You can have 3 zombies, 10 mummies, a priest, and a nun with Dracula and the werewolf and Frankenstein and Catman, Wolfman, and the Invisible Man with a million exorcisms on that fact, and it ain't gonna change a damn thing. You can put cat food in there, that ain't gonna change nothing. You can't change this reality, man. This is a reality. The PlayStation 5 is messing up. It's a cheap console. You sat there and watched the teardown, but they didn't want to give you the specifics. Like our man Old School be doing out there on Twitter. Just coming in with all kind of facts. Him and Blue Violet, all kind of facts. But people want to ignore people like them. They just continually drop facts day in and day out. Because people like that stupidity. That's the toxicity. You want to stay stupid is toxic. See, like, come on. We don't want to address the elephant in the room. That's being toxic. But yet it's easy for me to come up in the chat room and pick a comment that I don't like and then call one of these dudes out in the comment section toxic because he's saying something I don't want to hear. Come on, man. Like, come on. The Xbox community is at a point where it done took enough. It wants to say, hey, listen, man, when we gonna get our respect, man? We got the, y'all want to find any little thing to discredit this genius of technology that has been put forth upon us. And that's the Xbox Series S and the X. And look, this thing is so phenomenal, but where's the news at? They act like this thing don't even exist, man. That's the treatment. So when you're an Xbox fan, you're not an Xbox fan because you want to be popular. Oh, no. Who wants to go through what we go through as gamer fans? Who truly wants to go through what Xbox fans go through? Seriously, do they think we really like this stuff? They must think we really like going on the internet and we just see Xbox get bashed left and right. But you can't even go into gaming groups on Facebook, right? And they done pose themselves to be Xbox fans, And then as soon as you get in there and start talking something about Xbox, they kick you out. Or what you talking about, man? Get out of here. What the hell are you talking about, bro? This an Xbox group? It done got that bad out here in these streets. It's crazy, man. All these centaurs and half-breeds out here and these double agents out here. You got John Linneman out here pom-pomming for PlayStation 5. You don't have Microsoft got nobody out here in these streets acting like John Linneman for the damn Series X and the S. Come on, man. How stupid does that look? He ain't making the PlayStation 5 look good. He making it look stupid. The best thing that you ever did, John, is get the hell off of the internet for a while. Get your ass off the internet. That's right. Shut your DMs down and get off of Twitter. Stop Twitter. Stop with the tweets. You're better off. Because if you ain't going to be fair across the board, you better off not even opening up your mouth. It's okay to be a fanboy, bro. We know you a Sony fanboy. It's too easy to see that in you. It's like Jeff Keighley. It's too easy. But we're not tripping off of that. We just tripping off of, man, I mean, who wouldn't have predicted that The Last of Us 2 would have got Game of the Year? Are y'all serious? Is anybody really surprised that The Last of Us 2 got Game of the Year? Naughty Dog, the best gaming devs of the year. Come on, man. Like, really? Come on, man. How many people got replaced and lost their jobs doing that whole turmoil over there? Look, man, here's a fact. We don't play awards. We play video games. I can't tell you the last time I voted for a game to win an award. I don't get into that no more. That don't mean nothing to me. That don't mean nothing to me. I'm going to get in here and I'm going to keep a service like Game Pass. Why the hell did Game Pass win an award? Game Pass changed everything. Where is this reward at? And then, when Xbox does win an award, it's always got to be a game. Now, look, what I'm about to say is no disrespect to this game because I love this game. This game is real good. I like it. And this is no shot to the devs who put their time and effort to make this beautiful game. But I just want to make a fair statement here. Why is it when Xbox got to win something, it's got to be a game like Ori. But when Sony wins a game award, it's epic, like The Last of Us or something, But we'll give Xbox an award for Cuphead. Come on, man. And I'm not knocking them games, but y'all got to stop it, man. Gears 4 should have won that Game of the Year. There wasn't a game like Gears 4 when it came out. There wasn't one game. Gears 4 was the first game to put that Dolby Atmos in that game. That sound was incredible. The lighting was incredible. The visuals was incredible. The story was incredible. The gameplay was incredible. No award. No award out of it. That's the stuff I'm talking about, man. That's the stuff I'm talking about. They gonna go up here and give games like Fortnite, Apex awards. Come on, man. Come on. Oh, man. I'm telling you. It's crazy. Yeah, you know what, Dirt. That's facts, Ryan. That's facts. Aaron Greenberg is the foot soldier of Xbox, man. He's the foot soldier, bro. I don't have nothing but respect for Aaron Greenberg, and he knows that, man. He knows that. Dirt, that's true, man. When you start connecting the dots to these clowns, you'll find out real quick who everybody's connected to, man. It's hilarious, bro. Yeah, it's hilarious. But it's just, man, listen. I get what y'all are saying, man. And I don't agree with everything. All right. But it's relative. And I can stop for a minute and understand why you sound like you sound or why you say what you say. because now it's just getting pathetic. It's getting old. The PlayStation community and their jokes and their little weak little jabs is getting played out. You know, there's no time to slack up off of them. And that's why you see the Xbox community tearing them up about the console right now. Tearing them up. Because it was all good just a week ago. They had so much wind, man, they were blowing hurricanes around the map. Now they quiet. Now they don't know what to say. Because every time they keep trying to make something happen, that console keeps bricking on them. They don't know what to do now. And then we get Phil Spencer out today. And instead of congratulating the success, or instead of, building up the community in a way to make us feel good as we're going into next gen, he gets with The Verge, and the head topic becomes, once again, about Phil Spencer not liking console war talk. We know this. That's old news about Phil Spencer, people. That's old news. But you're going to make that headline news today? Is that the best you could come up with, Verge? Out of all the stuff you can talk about, it was very important for you to know what Phil thought about the console toxicity when you knew the answer to that. Man, ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna end it with that. It's to the point where I'm like, go voice your opinion, man. Start tagging. Explain to Phil the way you feel, the way you feel. Go explain to him, man. Make him see it. I mean, that's the best I can offer, man, because I don't know. I don't know. I'm just echoing, man. And you guys, there's nothing wrong with the way y'all think, man. You got your reasons. Explain your reasons and leave it at that. There was something special about that only on Xbox, that little box that used to be put on the Xbox 360 cases. It was a different time, and it was a different community. But that was like the last of that. You respected what was on what console. That right there was just the way consoles were. You respected it. And back in the day, when a game would come out, it may come out on another console, but it wasn't the same experience. When Double Dragon came out on Nintendo, it was single player. When Double Dragon came out on Sega, it was co-op. Two different kinds of experience. Same game. And this is what we had for our differences in talks. This is why we had the talks. These were the things that sparked the debates. And that's just the way it's been in the gaming community. That's not toxic. That's just the way we've been. Hey, y'all, this has been the New Legal, man. Xbox community, stand up. Do what y'all do. Stay positive, man. Tag out, man. Reach people. Don't feel scared, man. If you don't get a response, you just don't get a response. Were you going to be surprised at that? No. But there's other people that are seeing it. Put the tag up. Speak what's on your mind, man, because that's the only way they're going to know. It's the only way they're going to know, man, is when you start speaking on it. And don't let anybody lie on your console. I love what I saw today, man. It went worldwide on John Lennon, man. He had to get off of Twitter. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Don't underestimate the streets. One thing about the streets is it always remembers. It's the streets is the human record book. Whatever you have said has been taken down. If you front, it will be brought to you and held in the court of law, baby. You speak now, forever hold your peace, because when those receipts come out of them streets, they come out. And you only got two choices. You either face the community or you do like John Linneman does, tuck that tail and retreat. But do not ever insult the integrity of the gamers. We are who we are. We do what we do, but we don't condone toxic behavior. That is not what we're saying here. We agree with that. But what we're not going to do is pretend to act like toxicity originated from the streets, because that's not where it originated from. It originated from the top dogs in the corporate businesses of gaming. You guys did those commercials, not us. You guys did that. You guys created the gaming media journalists and allowed those casuals to talk and do reviews. Y'all allow Metacritic to do that. Y'all form relationships to cheat scores and to help sell consoles. Y'all did that. We didn't do that. We didn't do that. If we're guilty, we're just guilty for defending our cases, man. We get a couple of our comrades with some loose screws every now and then. But what family don't have somebody like that? Every family has that one dude that's messed up in the head. We know how to deal with them. Let us deal with them. But we're going to deal with y'all. And we're going to deal with y'all out of respect. We're going into the next generation. We just want some respect put on our console. Is that too much to ask? Hey, when we're sitting up here having fun, why y'all mad? When you sit up here and we make a comment about how great our games are, why y'all mad? Y'all mad because we don't have to fake it. We true about ours. Y'all be faking all the time. That's why y'all talk all the time, but y'all don't ever show nothing. So you got to start lying on another brand. That's being toxic. Hey, y'all, it's been a good night. I want to say thanks to everybody. If you like what we're about, man, shouts to Rogue, shouts to Technoblast, shouts to the General, shouts to Jizzle Gaming, man. Di-RRec Gaming in the building tonight. Shouts to the Mighty Chat Room. Shouts to everybody out there, man, in my small little chat room. My mighty small chat room. I want to say thank y'all for taking y'all's time out of y'all's life to come in here and hear me rant, because y'all didn't have to do that. Y'all didn't have to do that. And you know what? I stayed on here and went through a daggum tornado with y'all tonight. Daggum tornado came through my hood, man. It did. It did. It came through. Come on, I got to be dramatic, man. Come on now. Tornadoes came through here. 90-mile-per-hour wind, and I still held it down. The show went on. Dadgummit. Because this is Xbox, dadgummit. This is Di-RRec Gaming. We here. This is the streets. I'm from y'all because I am y'all. I'm nobody special. I'm nobody different. I'm just one that said, hey, you know what? I'm going to show the whole community that an Xbox fan can stand on his 10 toes and never switch up. And you know what? Through it all, hold that integrity, back up against the wall, but never folds. If I can inspire, that's the mission of the New Legal. And I hope one day I inspire, because what the Xbox people need are true Xbox fans to talk true Xbox language. We don't need double agents. We don't need half breeds. We need an Xbox fan to talk Xbox stuff. That's been the problem with Xbox from day one. Hopefully one day that will change, and we will actually start seeing real unboxings from real Xbox fans. And we'll start seeing people getting surprised. Real Xbox people out here, out in the streets, getting surprised by some marketers from Xbox just doing something in the community. It would just be nice to see that every blue moon. You know, we're out here, man. Some of us working 2-3 jobs Just support our little gaming hobby, man. We come out here, blood, sweat, and tears. Y'all come out here. It's 10:38 p.m. where I'm at, man, Central Time, and y'all are holding me down. You think I'm finna take that for granted? You's a sucker. You better sit back down. You better get down before we lay you down around here. We give you that smoke all day long. The Xbox community ain't no punk community. We real. We the ones who created this online gaming in this console space. We created that. Ain't no casual audience create this brand of ours. This thing of ours will never be devoured. Y'all on some loco stuff if you think otherwise. Y'all the ones that need the gaming journalists to talk highly for your console. Y'all need Metacritics. We don't need that. We shut Metacritic up 2 years ago with Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2 when they came talking that noise telling us that our games was garbage. You ain't gonna tell us our games are garbage. We'll be the dictators of that, and we made those games succeed. Damn it. Now we got Game Pass, and now we got all the games. You reap what you sow now. Now we got your boss over there, Jim Ryan, trying to be like us now. I thought Game Pass sucked, though. I thought Xbox games don't have, I thought Xbox don't have no games. Xbox ain't the place to be. So why you want our games? Why you want to mimic what we do over here if we're not so great? Because the reality is we are great. And hey, man, we don't mind influencing y'all. We don't mind showing you what true greatness is. We don't mind doing that, but we just want y'all to know that we do it so elegantly. We do it extraordinary. And we stay excited because we the real X-Men around here. You feel me? We don't have no reason to be faking. We've been doing this for too long. We've been doing it for too long, man. We built communities. We got groups and everything. Y'all don't even have that on your console. Y'all don't even know what that is. Y'all don't even know what that is. And this ain't console war talk. These are facts. We know y'all hate them facts, but it's all right. We're going to get through this next generation having some fun. You're going to put that respect on Xbox, regardless if you like it or not. We going to carry this Xbox brand on our backs if we got to do it because we done it before. We'll do it again. We don't need gaming outlets. We don't need the gaming journalists. We don't need none of them speaking on our behalf. We got the Xbox brand. We'll take care of it. We'll do it just like we've always done it. We'll hold it up high, and we'll get through the storms. Bottom line, the best thing for y'all to do right now is try to get your refunds from Sony. We out of here. Peace.